that here. Well, we have him? Okay, well, with that in mind, it's my pleasure to welcome to the broadcast for the second time and for the big one, for all the marbles this time around, Governor Scott Walker of Wisconsin. Governor Walker, welcome to the Northern Alliance Radio Network.
Hey, it's great to be with you. It's a beautiful day in Hudson, and it couldn't be any warmer. We've been all around the state, and things are looking up.
Looking good in the polls, Governor Walker. By the way, Hudson's a lovely place. I've been through there a number of times. Great folks out there. What are you hearing on the ground from people in Hudson and around the state?
I've actually been all the way down to near Janesville today at the Rock County Dairy Breakfast. I was in Monroe County near Sparta. What we're hearing is not only enthusiastic support from our base, from people in the center-right coalition. One of the other great things is I've heard from a lot of people out there who tell me they voted for my opponent the last time around, but they're voting for us because they appreciate we had the courage to take on the tough challenges. We get people like that out to the polls. I have no doubt that those, along with the base of conservative voters in the state, will allow us to win this election and move our state forward.
Governor Walker, you got some important endorsements this week. I noticed that I think it was there was a business council backing. There's a bankers council backing this week. Tell us a little bit about how the changes that you made over the last year and a half have impacted Wisconsin's economy.
Well, and you're right, we've had in the last month or so just about every organization that represents and helps small businesses in the state stand up and throw their support behind us, because we've helped small businesses in the state in particular grow. In the 3 years before I took office, Wisconsin lost 100,000 plus jobs. Our unemployment rate was over 9%. Last year, it's been documented now through government statistics that Wisconsin gained jobs in 2011. We're gaining jobs in 2012. In fact, since I've taken office, more than 30,000 new jobs have been created in the state. And the unemployment rate, it's the lowest it's been since 2008 at 6.7%. All those things have been about getting government out of the way, lowering the tax burden on small businesses and family farmers and others, easing the regulatory and litigation environment to lower those costs, really making it basically easier for small businesses to create jobs. The other great thing is all our reforms are working. We've documented more than $1 billion worth of savings. Property taxes have gone down for the first time in 12 years on a median-valued home, and the state of Wisconsin has a $154 million surplus after starting out with a $3.6 billion deficit a year and a half ago. Our reforms are working. We're turning the state around. We're heading in the right direction. We're moving Wisconsin forward.
Well, Governor Walker, I mean, you've balanced the budget. You've got a surplus. You lowered taxes. You got people working. No wonder they want to recall you out there in Wisconsin.
Exactly. I said at any other time in any other state, that would be a pretty compelling argument for re-election. On top of that, we make the government work better for the people we're elected to serve. No better example of that than public education. Both of my boys, Matt and Alex, go to a public school in Wauwatosa. We've made it easier for schools to balance their budgets, to put not only to put more money into savings, but to do so in a way that for many of our school districts using our reforms, they've hired more teachers, they've lowered classroom size. But the best thing they've been able to do is, instead of the old system of seniority and tenure, they're ultimately able to hire and fire based on merit, be paid based on performance. That means we can put the best and the brightest in our classes. We can keep them there. So better schools, better reforms, ultimately things like a better business climate and a balanced budget. Those are the things I think people elected me in 2010 to do. That's exactly the promises I've kept. And if people help me again on June 5th, that's exactly what we'll continue to do.
Well, Governor Walker, I mean, we're hearing your side of this. But obviously, though, you have an opponent that's running against you in this recall, Tom Barrett, mayor of Milwaukee. Tell us about his plans, how he would have approached this, and what the key differences are.
Well, I think you need to hit that emergency signal where there's just a beep that goes on, because there is no plan.
Yeah, I know that was a softball. I mean,
it's just this is literally the 52nd day since Tom Barrett, the mayor of Milwaukee, was asked in the primary election. I think a very logical question. If this recall was about undoing the reforms of the last year and a half, then what would you do? The simple answer is he won't tell people because he doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have a plan for the budget. He admitted this week he doesn't have a plan for economic development. His only plan in this campaign has been to attack me, and that's not a plan for moving the state forward. But I do think it's safe to assume, since he won't offer a plan, that we should just look at his record in Milwaukee and believe that he would apply that to the state of Wisconsin. In the last 8 years he's been mayor, taxes and fees have gone up 43%. The unemployment rate in the city of Milwaukee is up 26% during that time frame. And sadly, Milwaukee has become one of the poorest big cities in the entire country. That's not a recipe for moving forward. That's a recipe for moving backwards. People don't want to move backwards in our state. They clearly want to move forward. When they get the facts, and that's our secret weapon in this election, get the truth out, get the facts out, I believe overwhelmingly we will win on Tuesday. And more importantly, the taxpayers, the hardworking taxpayers who are finally back in charge again, will continue to win every day thereafter.
Governor Walker, if they keep throwing recalls out, you're going to be getting pretty good at this whole election thing. You get a lot of practice in here. But seriously, Governor Walker, you mentioned earlier in talking with people who voted for your opponent in 2010 who've come around for you. We saw this last week that the Madison Ask Me Council has lost 60% of its membership. What are you hearing from public employee union types who have switched around? I mean, are they starting to see that this is a win-win for everyone in Wisconsin?
No doubt. I was just at a Victory Center in Hudson where people are making calls. A number of the volunteers there were public school teachers. A number of the people I meet around the state are not only teachers, but they're public employees who understand when they look at other states around the country that we avoided the massive layoffs, we avoided the major structural problems. I mean, just not only think about the comparison in Milwaukee where Tom Barrett's the mayor, look at what's happening in Illinois even as we speak. Last year, they failed to make the tough choices. In fact, in some ways, they mocked us for making our tough choices. What happened? They went out and raised taxes and fees 67% on individuals, 46% on businesses. A year later, they have an even bigger budget mess than they had before. They're shutting down 14 state facilities. They're laying off thousands of employees because of that. They've cut more than $1 billion in Medicaid. We added more than $1 billion. Their bond rating is the worst in the country. They just get, and their unemployment rate is 2 points higher, 2 points worse off than Wisconsin's is. We have shown the way to move the state forward is to stand up to the powerful special interests and instead put that power back where it belongs, and that is in the hands of the hardworking taxpayer.
Absolutely. We're talking with Governor Scott Walker of Wisconsin. Governor Walker, we came 8,000 votes away from being able to do the same thing here in Minnesota. The big question we have on our side of the St. Croix is, want to pop over here in 2016 and help us get rid of the governor we have?
It's one of those where, one of the great things I love about at least the impact in our election, and I would hope in the future would apply in any other state around the country, is this isn't about personality. This isn't about trivial issues. This is a substantive policy debate about the future of our state, and I think you can apply it to any other state across the country. I believe on Tuesday, if enough people get out and help us win, it'll send a powerful message not only in our state house, but in St. Paul. It'll send a message in Columbus and Springfield and Indianapolis and state houses all across America, and in particular in the halls of Congress, where there's only a handful of people like my friend Paul Ryan really trying to do courageous things to get our federal government back on track. What I think it will send is a powerful message that voters aren't kidding when they say they want leaders to make the tough but necessary decisions to move our states and our national government forward. And I believe that will be a strike for courage on Tuesday. And that's why it's so incredibly important that anybody who knows anyone in Wisconsin, family, friends, coworkers, classmates from the past, make sure that they get out to vote this Tuesday, June 7th.
Governor Walker, where can people go to find out how they can help you out a little bit more directly than that? What's the website? Where can
Scott
people...
Walker, yeah, scottwalker.org. That's scottwalker.org. There's literally details about phone banks, about donations, about... We've taken those so seriously. We're up on Twin Cities with ads because we understand how important the northwest part of the city or the state of Wisconsin is. A lot of people ignore that in campaigns in Wisconsin in the past. We have not. We're up in the Twin Cities. We're up in Duluth. We want to make sure we hit every voter throughout the entire state of Wisconsin. ScottWalker.org is the best way to help us out. And people can help us even across the St. Croix River. People can help us in the next couple of days, man the phone banks, hand out literature, make sure people get out to the polls, because the truth, as I said, is our secret weapon. If we get the truth out to enough people, I have no doubt indeed that we will win on Tuesday.
Governor Scott Walker, thanks so much for being with us. I know you're a busy man. We really appreciate you being here today with us.
Hey, thank you. My pleasure. God bless you. And thanks to all your listeners for tuning in.
God bless you, Scott Walker.
Absolutely. We'll get the websites posted at shotinthedark.info as
and
well
at
as
hotair.com.
We'll get them both out there during the